Welcome back to another episode of the Peace, Power, and Purpose podcast. Help us spread awareness for men's mental health and the gospel of Jesus Christ by ringing the bell and subscribing to the channel. Tonight, I am joined by Keith. Keith has spent a long time in law enforcement, and we're going to talk about his career and also the impact that mental health plays as a police officer and a first responder. Today, a tragic event happened in Washington, D.C. 2 National Guardsmen lost their lives in D.C., and I just want to think about them and honor them in this episode tonight. And also think about all those men and women that are working on Thanksgiving in a first responder role, and also our military that's deployed overseas and domestic. Keith, thank you very much for joining me tonight, man. I appreciate it.
Oh, thanks for having me, man. Appreciate you having me.
Glad we finally got to get this going and get to talk. Yeah. Nice. Well, man, I kind of want to start, just take our listeners to the beginning of your story. Where did you grow up and what was your childhood like, man?
All right, man. I grew up in Richmond, Virginia, city of Richmond. Had a fabulous childhood, man. 2 absolutely amazing parents. Stay-at-home mom and a dad that, worked 14, 16-hour days to take care of his family. Got an older brother, 2 younger sisters, so there's 4 of us. And both my parents are from Lebanese descent, so we were kind of brought up in a traditional old school kind of household. Very Catholic. Went to a Catholic school from kindergarten through 8th grade, and then went to an all-male Catholic military high school for high school, or all-male Catholic military high school. Yeah.
Wow.
In the city of Richmond, but it was fun, man. I enjoyed it. But just different than the way people grow up today. I grew up outside playing in the woods, and
right.
Your parents had no idea where you were, and you were just kind of out there doing your thing, and trying not to get too much trouble. But it was a great childhood, man. Our family's really big. My dad's one of 5. My mom's one of 4. Everybody's in Richmond. So I had a million first cousins, and we all kind of hung out. Our church was it's called a Maronite Catholic church. So it's like a Roman Catholic church, but it's for Lebanese people. So they did some of the Mass in Arabic, but it sat on like 15 acres, man.
Wow.
And we had a church. There was a reception hall, basketball courts, tennis courts, swimming pool. So, going to church when I was younger was mandatory. You were going to church, but you look forward to it because like after church, you go from Mass from 11 to 12, and then after 12 you were playing all day, basketball, swimming. So it was a really tight knit community.
Nice.
Church that I belonged to. So it was awesome.
Very cool.
Yeah, man, I had an amazing childhood, to be honest.
Did you play like any sports, like in high school with that military school?
Yeah, I played a bunch of sports, middle school and stuff. But high school, I played football. Tried out for basketball, and it was funny. The coach came up to me, and he was like, "Keith, you're cut." I'm like, "Sir, cuts aren't for 2 days." He said, "Well, I talked to one of our coaches." He goes, Coach Arnold was our football. He's like, "I talked to Coach Arnold." He goes, "You need to be in the gym. So you're not on the basketball team, but congratulations, you're now on the track team." And I'm like, so I ran track. I ran track and played football.
Nice, man. Okay.
But it was fun. I love that sport, man. It's just, the teamwork going out there together and bashing heads and stuff. I just didn't have the physical stature to, play past high school.
Okay.
But,
Gotcha.
It was a blast. Our high school actually, the military high school I went to just won the private school football championship 3 years in a row last weekend.
Wow. Nice, man. Nice.
Yeah, man.
Well, did you go to college out of high school, or how did your life look right outside of high school?
So high school for me was rough, academically.
Okay.
I'm just, I remember in middle school and stuff, teachers would come up to my parents and just be like, we think Keith should get tested. He might have like a learning disability. Because you give me a chapter and a book to read, I'll read it. 2 seconds later, I have no clue what I just read. It's just nothing soaked in unless I was really interested in it. But, being like the old school parents, my son is not getting tested. He's fine. He just needs to buckle down.
Yeah.
Um, so I had to study for C's, man. I had to
Okay.
study for C's, D's, and um, but they pushed college pretty hard, and I got into Marshall University in
Oh, yeah.
Huntington, West Virginia.
Yeah.
So, I went out there. My freshman year was '96,
Okay.
and it was the first year Randy Moss was there, so it was like a
Yeah.
big deal.
Yeah, yeah,
Um,
yeah.
but going from like a all male Catholic military high school to being in a dorm in Huntington, West Virginia it was a it was an adjustment.
I bet.
And
I bet.
I I went to school for about 2.5 years now, or
Okay.
college for about 2.5 years, and um, it's just college just wasn't for me.
Yeah.
I started bartending,
Okay.
um, and I, but the one thing Marshall did do was like the criminal justice classes. I want to be a cop forever. My parents
Okay.
said from the time I was like 5 years old, that's all I talked about doing.
Okay.
Police work. So I've never really thought about doing anything else. So when I went to college, criminal justice was it. I was going to get my degree and try to become a police officer, but PDs would come to the college campus and recruit.
Mhm.
And so after my second year there, I think I was 26 months, I think was the minimum. I remember a Lexington, Kentucky police officer was on campus. He's like, dude, why are you wasting your money here? If this is what you want to do, just come take the test. And I was like, huh. So I went and I took me and a couple of buddies went and took the Lexington, Kentucky PD test, and passed the written, passed the physical. But 98 was about the time. Yeah, back then you still had 500 applicants for 3 spots.
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
So, yeah, I made it to the oral board and, just got the letter saying that there's more qualified people
Mm.
or whatever. But that kind of just started why am I going in debt by tens of thousands of dollars if this is what I'm going to end up doing anyway?
Right.
Um, but in college, I met my wife
Oh, nice.
in '98. So we started dating. She was a year ahead of me. Um, so in my third year, when I completely just stopped going to school and basically started just was bartending and taking like um, different law enforcement tests or whatever, she graduated and moved back to Northern Virginia, DC area.
Okay.
So I just packed up and went home to Richmond. It's a 90-mile difference. I was like, we'll do the 90-mile long distance type dating stuff. And
Mhm.
um, I'd started working construction. I've got a bunch of family that owns like whatever plumbing. I started doing electrical stuff with my uncle.
Okay,
He
cool.
owns a company,
Nice.
and just taking tests. And in 19, what is it? Right after 9/11, I was in the academy. Right after I was the first class right after 9/11 is when they had like a mass hiring up in the DC area, and I got hired up here at the Port Authority Police
Oh, wow. Okay.
in DC. So
Yeah.
we did the two major airports, Reagan
Yeah.
and Dulles.
Yeah. Okay.
It was great, man. Got engaged right away.
Nice.
That's what
Nice.
I
Yeah.
we but we've been dating for probably about 4 years by then. Got engaged right after the academy, started patrolling, man, and loved it.
That's a super competitive, department to get on too, isn't it?
Yeah, and it was timing.
Okay.
It was literally the class after 9/11 when they had mass hiring.
Yeah, yeah.
I think there was because they would usually in the academy classes now that we have, pick up in between 8 and 12. I
Mm.
think, and just from because we go to a regional academy
Oh,
with
okay.
like 10 different departments.
Yeah.
Uh, but just with our department, I think there was 36 of us that went that year.
Wow.
Graduated like 30 or something like that.
Okay.
But yeah, I mean, it was great. It's what I always wanted to do, and
Nice.
I started doing it. So
Yeah,
life looked pretty good back then.
my folks were in, Alexandria for about 10 years, so I'm kinda familiar with that area, especially
Yeah, I'm
Reagan.
in Loudoun County, like
Oh, yeah,
two.
okay. Okay. Yeah. Nice.
It's and I mean, it's an okay area, but when I retire in 3.5 years, there's no way in hell I'm staying up here. It's just
Yeah.
it's too expensive, man. I can't do it.
Yeah, yeah. Where are you gonna go when you retire? Have you thought about it?
We're looking at like Wilmington, man.
Okay, yeah,
North
I've heard
Carolina.
that's a cool city. I've never been there, but I heard it's really cool.
I told my wife, I said it's either in the middle of the woods or the beach, and she doesn't like the woods, so
There you
I guess
go.
what
There
beach
you
it
go.
is, you know.
There you go.
But
Sounds like a good plan right there.
I hope so. We'll see how it works out.
Yeah. So, how long were you with that department?
So, um, I was with the I was with them for 2 years.
Mm,
Um,
okay.
and I wanted to go do like the inner city stuff.
Okay.
Um, that's stuff you see on TV when you're wanting
Yeah,
to be a cop.
young.
So,
Yeah,
um,
yeah.
so I convinced my fiance at the time, my wife now, that if we moved to Richmond, she's still close enough to visit her family,
Mm,
but the cost of living's cheaper.
mhm.
And she went for it at the time. So I applied for Richmond City Police, and I went down there,
Nice.
and I was a cop up here for 2 years, but then you go down to Richmond, Virginia, and start working in the city, and it's a pretty big eye opener.
I bet.
Um,
Yeah, I
as
bet.
far as the amount of calls and the type of calls you're kind of responding to and stuff. But
Yeah, I
it
can.
was one of the things that was very apparent, like when I started law enforcement, was just the regular consumption of alcoholic beverages.
Mm,
I mean,
mhm.
even right out of the academy, we were having choir practice in the PD parking lots.
Yeah.
Um, there's always somebody out there drinking, so um, it became kind of like it started becoming more of a regular thing. I mean, I
Mhm,
partied in high school, I drank on the weekends, I
mhm.
partied in college, um, but it was like a weekend thing. And once I started police, it became more of a have two or three to just take the edge off type
Yeah,
stuff.
yeah.
And then when I went down to Richmond, it was the same thing.
Mm.
I worked 7 p.m. to 7 a.m.
Oh, that's a rough shift, man.
Yeah,
Oof,
and
oof.
Third Street Diner was open 24 hours. They had
Mm,
drink specials in the morning because you
nice.
had MCV College there, Medical
Mm,
College of Virginia.
yeah.
Well, all the nurses and doctors that work midnight shift, you go to Third Street at 8 o'clock in the morning, the place was packed,
Hmm.
and you'd have like your drinks and
Mhm.
bacon and eggs and hang out. Because my wife's a teacher,
Oh,
so
okay.
most of the time, by the time I got home, she was gone.
She's gone. Yeah.
Um, when I worked third shift up in uh, the DC area, I wouldn't even get home till mid. I'd work 3 to 11, so I'd get off at midnight. She'd be in bed. So if guys were having beer in the parking lot, there's no reason for me to rush home. I might as well just hang out with the
Yeah,
fellas and
no doubt.
kick a few back. But
Let me ask you, Keith, so you wanted to be a police officer since you were a little boy. When you finally got the opportunity to get into that job, was it what you thought it would be?
no,
Yeah, me
no,
too. Me too,
not at
man.
all. Um,
I just wanted to ask you that. So,
not even close.
yeah, okay.
Um, so I mean, there's a lot to dive in there, man. It's
I'm
like,
sure I know, man. I'm just curious because some guys are, real gung ho and they're like, yeah, I love this. And I know for me personally, when I became a police officer, it was nothing like I thought it would be.
yeah. I mean,
I
I
had,
like the job.
yeah,
Um, I I didn't anticipate some of the stuff that I would have to deal with um, affecting me the way it did.
hmm
You know, um, and I was 3 months on. And I arrested a kid for DUI, and I didn't know he was special needs because he blew like a 2.5. And we didn't have cages, so I've asked the backup officer to watch him while I cleared out my front seat so we could
hmm
transport him.
yeah,
And in handcuffs, the dude um, darts out in the highway and jumps in front of an 18-wheeler. Uh, and I mean, I was only a cop. I was only off of field training for 3 months,
wow,
and that one jacked. I mean, it messed me up a little bit, but then the dark humor comes in where you come to work the next day and there's an 18-wheeler Matchbox car on your locker with like
yeah,
um,
damn,
but
man.
it's like that's the but it's like, who am I going to tell? I'm not going to tell people that it bothers
hmm
me. I'm not going
No,
to be labeled the
no,
fucking guy that can't do the job.
right,
Um,
right,
then you kind of start questioning yourself. Can I do the job? Like, this is what
yeah,
I've wanted to do, but I don't. It's not messing these guys up, and
hmm
uh, so I just did what kind of was taught to me and had some beer and went to sleep. Kind of
yeah.
just shoved all that shit down as far as I could, and just trucked on a little bit.
Yeah, what would you say, throughout your career, was there one moment that kind of defined maybe like a tipping point for you with your mental health, one, where you felt like maybe you had to drink just to, I know you said earlier to take the edge off, but was there a moment in your life or your career where you just felt like, it kind of started
Yeah.
maybe I want to use the term self-sabotage, and I use that because
Yeah.
that's
Got
how
it.
I identified
Yeah.
myself. But is there something that sticks out to you, like that kind of maybe was that tipping point for you?
So there's like the first time I noticed it, and then I'll tell you the tipping point part. But the first time I really noticed it was a call for a vehicle wrecked into a house, and I got there, and it was July, and the car was just left in drive. It rolled up, it just rolled into the house. But the car was off, the window was up, and there was a toddler in the car seat.
Mm.
And just looking back there, you could already tell by the foam and stuff that it was not going to be good. So I broke the window, did what you did. You worked that scene that day, but I remember one of my buddies being like, "Hey, rough day, Keith, man. Let's go grab a few." And I
Yeah.
just looked at him and I was like, "Nope, I don't want to even hang out with you, dude."
Yeah.
And I went home, and that's one of the first times I remember getting absolutely hammered by myself. I didn't want
Okay.
to talk to nobody.
Yeah.
I wanted to drink enough for the brain to stop working and
Yeah.
pass out, get up, push it down, and get back to work. That's
Just numb it, right?
yeah.
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
that kind of started it, and it's all just compounded trauma from 20 some years or whatever. But
Mm-hmm.
after 4.5 years down there, my wife hated Richmond.
Mm.
And we moved back to the DC area, and I got my job back up here at the
Okay.
Port Authority doing the airport stuff, and was on patrol for a couple of years, and then put in for investigations, got an investigative spot, and I went to the FBI JTTF out of Washington DC.
Nice.
And that was awesome, man.
Yeah.
That was fun. I got to do some really good cases with several undercover programs, did some undercover work, which was fun.
Nice. Yeah. That's awesome.
But yeah, yeah, no, September 16th, 2013, the Navy Yard active shooter
That's right.
popped off, and our boss comes running out and he goes, "Hey, you two guys get down." There's only me and this guy, Shay, great cop too. He's a DC cop, and military Green Beret dude in the reserves at the time. And nobody better to go to an active shooter with.
Yeah.
And
No shit. Yeah.
Um, so we get down there, and it was like, so I saw a lot of homicides in Richmond, a
Mm-hmm.
lot. We averaged about, I think, 100 a year when I was down there. But
Wow.
car wrecks bothered me more, like fatal car accidents.
Mm-hmm.
But the Navy Yard was different because it was just regular people sitting at their desk, man.
Yeah.
It's just somebody sitting at their desk, and the call came out with a guy using an AK-47, and it ended up being a shotgun.
Mm.
And I would say out of the 12 people that were killed, at least 8 of them were point blank to the head.
God, man.
So the first girl I saw was
Fuck.
probably in her 50s, and sitting there by her desk with just kind of missing half of it, and it was
Shit.
just yeah, that was a bad one, man. And
Yeah.
I love your show, so I've seen several episodes, and I've heard several cops on here talk about it, and it's true. It's not always a traumatic event. The traumatic event is how you treat it afterwards.
Yeah.
Your own
Big
people.
time. Big time.
So after that event, man, me and Shay just started getting read the riot act by the FBI.
Really?
Rogue task force officers just running in a building. You should have gone to the command post and waited further instruction and blah, blah. I'm like, we try to explain to them, like, we're patrol cops. That's how we're trained to do. Like, we're trained to go.
Yeah.
And the FBI is different. They're investigators kind of after. That's
Right.
what their primary function is. But when shit hits the fan, you revert to
Mm-hmm.
what you've trained on. So, we were told to go back to the field office and write a memo or whatever on everything we did that day and all this other stuff. And they were not happy with us. So me and Shay go back, and I'm just looking at my computer, and it's not even turned on. And I'm just trying to compute everything for the day.
Yeah.
And Shay just looks at me, and Shay goes, He goes, hey, Keith, fuck the FBI. You want to go to a bar? And I was like, you're damn right I do. And we went to a bar, man.
Yeah.
Because that's how we dealt with everything.
Right.
You know?
Right.
But yeah, that was the straw that broke the camel's back for me, man.
Okay.
It was very shortly after that. I had been dealing with back issues for a long time. And it finally got to the point where like I couldn't even tie my shoes.
Wow.
And I had 2 ruptured discs in my lower back.
Okay.
So I finally went to a doctor, and he was like, look, man, we can do 2 things. We could do epidurals. It might take a while, or we could do surgery. And at that point, I was in my mid-30s. I was like, dude, I'm not having back surgery at 35.
Yeah.
It's not happening. So I was like, let's do the epidurals. And he gave me a prescription of opiates. Game over, dude.
Yeah.
Absolutely. I mean, it was from the first one I took, I fell in love with that shit. I loved it. It turned my brain off. It gave me energy. I felt amazing.
Yeah.
I just loved it. So I just back up a little bit. Because I wanted to be a cop forever, I did party in high school and college. I didn't do drugs. I never did. Like even marijuana was frowned upon. So I smoked weed twice in my life.
Yeah.
So it was like, when I went to this doctor and he gives me this, addiction didn't cross my mind because I've never done it. So you know what I mean? Like I'm the FBI guy that's got a TSS, but no, I mean, that stuff grabbed a hold of me quick. And I was on it for a little while, and addiction started creeping in a little. And so I remember asking the doctor, I said, hey man, I said, am I getting addicted to this? And he was like, why do you say that? And I was like, I got to take 2 instead of 1. One's not doing it. He goes, no, you just get used to it, but we just got to up your dose.
Wow.
And I was like, okay. And we upped it.
Damn.
And after being on that for a while, I went back to him again. And at this point, I know I'm addicted. And I don't care. I don't care. I'm like, hey, doc, can we up it again? Like, sure. We just upped it again.
What year was this? 2000? What would you say? 2013? Is that right?
So 2013 was Navy Yard. End of 2014, beginning of 2015 was the opiates.
Okay.
Yeah. That timeline's a little fuzzy.
No, yeah, I'm sure, man. I'm sure.
And, I was drinking on top of them.
Right.
And, but, I was going to work. Like, when I go do some talks at like Police Academy and stuff, my FBI boss, at that time, she comes with me, man. She'll tell you, she said she had no clue.
Wow.
She had no clue about any of it. Because, I mean, we can hide it if you really want to.
Definitely.
The one thing that was different with me, with the pills and the alcohol, was isolation. I stopped doing anything with the guys. There was no more choir. There's no more going to bars. There's no more catching up. I went straight home, got hammered by myself in my basement, and didn't leave the house till I had to be at work the next day. And it was just all like self-isolation. I stopped hanging out with
Why is that? Is that just you didn't want to be around your coworker? Oh, okay.
Yeah, I just didn't want them. I didn't want them to know.
Right.
I knew I was messed up, and I was afraid somebody would see it. So
gotcha. Okay.
I just would do it by myself. Yeah.
Okay, that makes sense.
So yeah, man. I mean, things at home started falling apart. By this time, I had a son and a son and a daughter. And yeah, it just started getting bad, dude. I was becoming an absolute shit father, a worse husband. And I never got physical with any of them, man. But the stuff that came out of my mouth was just nasty.
Okay.
I would say some nasty stuff. Because they called me out on my bullshit.
Yeah.
And my defense mechanism was, let me start an argument about this instead.
Right.
So
deflect it.
Yeah.
Did your wife ever confront you and say, hey, I really think you need to see somebody or go talk to somebody and get some help?
Probably. Not that really. It was probably mentioned, but it was never like, there was no ultimatums.
Okay. Gotcha.
So I knew I couldn't sustain the pills. It was getting too bad. And, I tried to get off of them, and that dope sickness is not fun. So I finally went to the doctor. I was like, look, man, I need off of this. Like, I want off. And, my back had been fine for months, And, so I tapered off of it, and I did it the way he told me to, and it sucked, and I got sick as hell, and it was awful. But I didn't realize like the switch that's flipped off in your brain when that substance entered my body, because the pills went away, alcohol quadrupled,
Mm.
and alcohol was every day, blackout every day, weekends when I wake up, to the time I pass out, wake up, drink again, pass out. It was every single day. And that's when the house got really bad,
Mm.
like really bad. So, um, yeah, that went on for a while, man. It it was it got pretty nasty around here.
So with the alcohol, what about your wife in that situation? Did she try to say,
It's
"Hey, you got to go get help," or "You got to go talk to somebody," anything like that?
Yes, and I bullshit my way out of some. I don't even know what I said, but I'll
Yeah.
just BS out of it or something, and I would play like so for the for like doing the FBI the undercover stuff there. You had to go through a program. That you had to go through a program where every 6 months you took a psych test, saw a
Right.
shrink, so and all this other stuff. You know what to say. I know what bubbles to circle.
Yeah.
Do you
Yeah.
drink more than nope? Do you nope?
Yeah.
I
Yeah.
mean,
Yeah.
so I would use that too. I'm like, I see one every 6 months. There,
Right.
but I'm good enough to work. So
Yeah.
it must be you and not me type shit,
Mm. So
Um,
the alcohol never affected your job while you were
no,
assigned to the FBI? Really? Okay.
nope.
Nice. Okay.
I don't know how. It just
Yeah.
you
Yeah. Yeah.
talked to some old coworkers. They're like, well, some mornings you came in smelling a little rough, but haven't we all type shit, you know what I
Mm.
mean? So,
Yeah. Yeah.
um, but no one confronted me. No one called me out on it. Nothing.
Well, Keith, let me ask you this, man, because you mentioned in your childhood going to church and stuff. Where was God at in your law enforcement career when you're kind of going through this? Let's just call it darkness. When you're in this darkness of, you're addicted to pills and you wean off, but now you're cranking up the alcohol consumption. Where was God in all this for you?
Um, I, I, growing up, being an altar server, doing all that stuff, going to church every Sunday, it was just like, it was just something you did kind of
Hmm.
stuff.
Yeah.
Um, so I think I kind of went through the motions a little bit. And, once you start seeing some of the stuff that the world can actually, that humans can actually do to each other, um, I stopped believing in anything, to be honest with you. I was
Okay.
just like, there cannot be a God up there if this is happening here. Like that baby in the back of that car, where's God now? You know what I mean?
Hmm.
Type stuff. So yeah, I didn't really have. I mean, there are foxhole prayers every once in a
Yeah.
while. Other than
Right.
that, I didn't I didn't put forth any effort
Okay.
towards faith at all.
Okay.
And it wasn't until I got clean and sober that came back. So
Well, walk us through that, man. Like what was or when was the moment when you started that journey to sobriety? Like how did that look and tell me more about that. Like how did that
okay,
process
yeah.
begin?
So in July of 2018, it was like right during like the big ISIS stuff.
Yep.
I was overseas,
Oh, really?
and my sister, my my oldest little sister, the one that's 2 years younger than me, she married a guy from the Lebanese church in Richmond.
Okay.
He still had family in Lebanon. So my sister called me and she was like, "Hey, are you going to be out this way?" I said, "I'm like in the vicinity, yeah." And she goes, "Well, we're going because they would go see his parents in Lebanon for a month to 2 months in the summer before
Hmm.
stuff over there got really bad." Um, and I was like, "Yeah, I'll be out there." She goes, "Why don't you take a week off and go party with me in Beirut?" I was like, "That is a fabulous idea." Um, so I took a week of leave, man, and flew into Beirut. She picked me up, and I don't remember any of it, none
Wow.
of it.
Wow.
We were staying at her in-laws' house. I'm just rolling up to the liquor cabinet at 8 o'clock in the morning, just drinking straight out of the bottle like a
Wow.
freaking scumbag. Um, I mean, I remember snapshots of it or whatever. And so, uh, God works through other people. You know what I mean? So
Yes, he does.
it was like I don't know. I think I had 2 days there left. And my middle name is Charbel.
Okay.
Charbel is the first Catholic saint from Lebanon from 1800, somewhere around there. Went up in the mountains to become a monk and live in isolation, all that stuff.
Okay.
So I was named after him, and my sister was like, get in a car. So we drove like 2 hours up to his shrine.
Mhm.
And people say, like, you know, especially in that country, you know, God works through him to create miracles or whatever. So I mean, I remember this vividly, bro. So we go in there and it was packed. There's a lot of people in there. There was like his tomb, like, you know, like a iron fence or whatever.
Mhm.
And people are they're throwing money in there and praying and all this other stuff. But I don't know where my sister went. I don't remember. I just remember I was by myself and I went up to it and you know, not out loud, but in my head, I was like, I want to let you know this is bullshit.
Mm.
And I was just physically in pain. I mean, I said, if you're real, stop this right here. Like, stop it. Like, I want to stop feeling like this. I want to stop doing this. And I just sat there and I got chills. I just sat there and I said it, man. I was like, if you're real, stop this shit, dude.
Yeah.
And I left, you know, we left. And, so, end of that week, I go back to what I was doing for a couple more days, and my sister flies into Dulles, and I live like 10 miles from Dulles Airport. And my sister was going to sleep at my house because of the jet lag, and then drive to Richmond the next day.
Mhm.
And, you know, unbeknownst to me, she sat my wife down, man, and was like, I don't know what the fuck's going on in this house, but what Keith just did in these past 7 days is insane, and he is going to die if we don't do something about it.
Wow.
So I get home like 4 days later, and I go in the house, man, and my wife's all nice to me and stuff. I'm like, she must have really missed me, man. She must really miss the drunk guy being around. But you know, I was a detective, so I knew something was not right. And I just took the win. I went to bed, man. I woke up and mom and dad showed up, in-laws showed up, and I was like, like, you know what it is right away.
Yeah,
You know, I've seen the
yeah.
TV show, bro.
Right.
I've seen.
Right.
And yeah, I mean, I knew the gig was up, man, and it was crazy. So my dad, it's the only police thing I got up. It's got some Navy Yard medal and a couple other
Nice.
things in there, but he was staring at that thing right there, man. And before they all really told me while they were there, and he put his hand on my back. He goes, "You had a great career." And I'm like, so like I knew it. I was, because you know my past history is you open your mouth with this, you're done.
Yeah.
Like you're just done.
Yeah.
So, you know, I wanted to get help for a long time. I knew I was messed up, but ego's a bitch, man.
Yeah. It is.
And, you know, I was the only guy from our whole department that had a TSSCI clearance. I answered to the chiefs. I'm Mr. Important to save the world. I'm the only guy that can do this right now.
Yeah.
And how do you make that phone? Like, how do you open your mouth? Like, I just thought, I was like, my career's done if I do it. So yeah, we all sat down, man. You know, people said what they had to say, and I really didn't care what my dad. I was like, I'm 38. You're not going to yell at me in my own house, dude.
Yeah.
Just whatever.
Yeah.
But she said what she had to say, and that was crushing. I mean, just crushing, dude. And she said something she never said before. Like, you asked if she'd ever confront me, and yeah, we confronted, but she's never done this. She was like, "Help tomorrow? Like, I'm talking inpatient help, or get the fuck out."
Mm.
And I was like, "Oh." So now it's like wife and kids, or
Yeah.
I mean, easy decision to be made, you know, at that point. But
Yeah.
but it was what I needed, dude. That was the only way it was going to work. I was never going to do it on my own.
Yeah.
Like I said, my ego just wouldn't let me do it. So, and then, you know, there's bound to be a DUI or a something down the road. And, so, you know, I picked up the phone and I texted, somebody in my command staff, and it was a Sunday. I said, "Hey, sir, Shibley, can you give me a call?" And he said, he texts back, "I'm on family vacation. Is it important?"
Mm.
I was like, "Yes, sir. It's pretty important." And he calls me, and I'm in tears by this point, dude. I'm just a blubbering mess, man. And I'm like, sir, I've got a problem with alcohol, and I need to go get help. He's like, well, how's this going to affect your clearance? I said, sir, I don't know, and I don't give a shit.
Wow.
I said,
Yeah.
I just telling you, I need some help. And he was like, well,
Yeah.
call this person. Click, and I'm like, oh.
Damn.
So like,
dude.
it was going the way I'd expected, and
Right.
the guy he wanted me to call was a newer deputy chief, coming from a huge department, and it was just like I was an intimidated guy, man. You know what I mean? Like, so I was not looking forward to that, and I called him, and dude, I will always be appreciative of that phone call. That dude, he talked to me for an hour and a half, and
Nice.
spelled it out, man. He's like, Keith, you're a great cop. You've gotten some amazing awards that don't mean shit. The day you leave the FBI, they're not going to care who Keith Shibley is.
Right.
The day you leave the PD, they're really not going to care who Keith Shibley is, because your priorities are messed up. You need to take care of you and your family first, and you've put your job above your family for way too long. And I did for over 10 years. My phone rang, and I was so important. I had, you know what I mean? Like, I don't care what it was. Family function, Thanksgiving. I remember leaving in the middle of dinner on Thanksgiving one day.
Wow.
And did I really have to? Probably not, but I was, in my brain, I did.
Yeah.
So he spelled it out for me, man. And that was a great phone call. Then I called my FBI boss, Jen. She was not my boss during the Navy Yard, but she'd come shortly after. And she plays a pivotal role because she pretty much saved my career. And she was cool with it, man. She was just like, she goes, your job will be here when you get back. Just go get the help you need. I was like, yeah, right. My job will be here when I get back. I didn't know how to do it, man. I called a bunch of rehabs, and you know, they ask you all those questions, and they're like, you're putting way too much chemicals in your body. You have to go to a medical detox.
Wow.
And then I start calling medical detoxes, and everybody was full. We could see you on Thursday. We could see you on Friday. We could see you on the 5th. I'm like, I have to go like right now.
Right now.
If I don't go right now, I'm going to get loaded, and
Yeah.
who knows what's going to happen. So this one place called me from Maryland, and they said, look, we don't have a bed open, but we have a sister detox in New Jersey, and we will send a car to pick you up. I said, send a car, man. And a car showed up a couple hours later, drove me 4 hours to Union, New Jersey, and started detox, man. And I tell you what, walking to that place, I'd rather go to the Navy Yard every day for a week than walk into that place again. I was scared shitless, man.
I bet.
I found myself in a closet, like with 2 security dudes and a nurse, and take your shirt off, take your socks off, take your pants off, bend over, call, like, whoa, like, drop your drawers and bend over, dude. Like, we need to make sure you're not bringing anything in here. And I'm like, so that was like, how did I get from the kid that wouldn't even smoke weed
Right.
to being in this closet at Union, New Jersey, man?
Yeah.
It was very, it was crazy, but I did the week there, you know, thought I was fixed, called my wife, told her, I was like, I had 7 days with nothing, which was a miracle for, I don't know how long it's been since I had 7 whole days with nothing in my system. And she was like, no, you're not coming home. You're going to a 30-day inpatient. So I was like, as long as it's not in Union, New Jersey, I'll go wherever you want. And they ended up finding one closer to home.
Okay.
That I went to. That was pretty solid.
Well, let me back you up real quick. You said something that I want to hit on while we're on this topic, especially being a police officer. You know, I think what guys need to realize, and women too, that watch this show and hear this testimony, just because you've done X as a cop or a firefighter or whatever that job may be, you're replaceable. It doesn't matter how much of a badass you are. You are just a number, just like working at a company or an organization. And I think a lot of us, myself included, we get caught up in what job we have or what we're doing in that role because it is a unique type of position. And I want men to understand that are watching this, your family, your health is way more important than some damn job. And just because you don't have a badge on your chest anymore, if you do lose your job, it doesn't make you less of a man. It's more important to ask for help and get help because every one of us has a purpose, but the world needs you, man. And if you just stay into that role because you're afraid of not having that badge, I commend you, man, for getting help. I know you got kind of hit some speed bumps with higher ups and stuff, but man, I mean, I think a lot of guys are, like you said, are afraid to ask for help because you're going to get turned away. Well, there goes your job. There goes this. I mean, at the end of the day, it's not worth it, man. Make yourself healthy. Look out for
And, you know,
yourself.
looking back at all how police dealt with this and it's kind of why I speak up about it, man, to kind of try to change it a little bit with the little bit that I can. But, I do a presentation at the FBI National Academy where all like the aspiring chiefs come for like a 12-week class. And the class is called At-Risk Employees and How to Deal with Them. And I ask them all, I'm like, how many of you guys right now know an officer in your department that probably has a substance abuse problem?
Hmm.
Everybody raises their hand.
Wow.
And I was like, okay, what are y'all doing about it? Everybody's just like, I said, because the nature of police work was, we know this A, B, and C have a problem. Let's just not say anything. They'll fuck up enough. Now we can fire them, and then it's not going to be our problem no more.
Yep.
That's how they dealt with us.
Yep.
That's how it be dealt with, man.
Yep.
Every time.
Yep.
And it's like, why are we doing that? Because now these officers are, going out, and some of them are offing themselves because of this. When you could have stepped in, a year before that, you started noticing the problem and got the dude some help or something. So that's why I'm passionate about speaking up about it, man, because that stuff's kind of got to change a little bit.
Well, let's take it a step further, man, because you hit on it earlier. I mean, when you go to these calls and you see something horrific, there needs to be a period where you can process, debrief, and not just go to the next fucking call and deal with some other bullshit, because you're just gonna internalize it. And for most of us, man, I was the same way. Just go drink, numb it, don't think about it. Versus, hey, you know what? You just saw this horrific scene. I'm gonna pull you over here, and we're gonna backfill or do something to let guys kind of come off for a little bit. Because I mean, and I think that kind of is like a chain reaction. You stay on the shift, you don't get a break, and then what are you going to do? You're going to get off, going to get drunk. So you don't have to think about it. Or you're going to pop a pill, or you're going to whatever, smoke weed. So I think there's a lot
and
it's
the
of
Monday
pieces
morning
at play.
quarterback of the call. You know what I mean? It's
Yeah,
like
totally.
Like, okay, we know that you had to step over a dead security guy just to get into the building, and then you saw people with point blank shotgun rounds to the face. Go back and write me a report on why you didn't go to the command post. It's like, come on, man,
crazy, dude.
Like,
yeah,
but yeah, you're right. It's and like I'm big, especially in our department now, on like peer support in the region too, because we're starting to do, and I don't mind being the guinea pig, man. We're starting to do the post critical incident debriefs now.
That's
having
good.
a clinician
That's
making
good,
it
man.
mandatory. You don't have to talk.
Right.
You don't have to talk. You don't want to, but you got to come.
Yeah.
And
yeah.
you'd be surprised at the dudes that actually do talk. It's the guys that you never would have thought.
Mm-hmm.
They're like, they'll cry in there and talk about it, dude. It's like afterwards they come up to me and they're like, man, this is what we've needed for 20 years. I'm like, yeah. It is. Especially after, we had to deal with the helicopter plane crash at DCA last January.
Oh, wow. Yeah.
And that was a bad one, man.
Yeah.
That was a bad one. That one jacked me up too. But, it's, you learn to at least be able to say that messed me up pretty bad. I need to go deal with it some other way instead of just turning to the bottle type stuff.
Yeah. Let me ask you this too while I'm thinking about it. You mentioned when you were overseas and you were at the place where the saint, like I don't know how else you put it, like the monument, like you were named after. Why were you angry at God?
I don't know.
Hmm.
I don't know if I was really angry at him.
Well, like to say, show me you're real and all that kind of stuff.
Yeah, I mean, I think it's just like with all, military, EMS, fire, when you just see just carnage every day.
Yeah.
And it's just like, I mean, it's just nonstop carnage of whatever.
Mm-hmm.
I think I was angry about that, dude. I'm like, how is this happening? Like,
okay.
And it's, I don't know. I think I was angry at myself too for allowing myself to get to that point, because there was countless times that I tried to stop drinking on my own, where I'd actually look at myself in the mirror and cuss myself out, dude. I'd be like, how weak and pathetic are you that you can't stop this shit on your own, so I think it was, I don't know, man. I it wasn't sincere prayer, I guess, but when I would try to stop, I would beg for relief and it never showed up, And I think that was why I was hostile there, you know.
You think it's because you feel like you didn't have control? You think that's
I
part
had
of that?
zero control. Yeah,
Yeah,
I had
well,
nothing.
yeah, and I think I know, and for me personally, like, I've always been a control freak and try to control every aspect of my life, and I know it took me to fully surrender and realize I can't do this on my own. I need
Yeah.
help. But it took a rock bottom moment for me to come to that realization. I was just curious, man. I'm not like throwing shade at you. I was just curious, like where
No.
that came from. But
Yeah, but so like the weakness thing is another thing because like you know, just kind of how I was raised is like you don't show that shit, you know.
yeah,
So
yeah,
my first traumatic incident that I had ever witnessed when I was 12, me and my brother were fishing, um, and I was really close with my mom's dad, and we were looking to buy a river house on the Rappahannock, and he knew a lady that had a house there, so they were all hanging up at the house, and we went down and went fishing. And he was just like, "You boys done catching jack shit? Because it's time for lunch." And we started packing it up, and he just dropped dead in front of us
oh,
at 12.
what?
So yeah, so I remember, you know, I ran up to the house. They called the ambulance, and it was we were too far out. I mean, it took like 40 minutes for
Man,
an ambulance to get there, and he passed away. But I remember crying and
yeah,
being the old school way my family is. My dad, he kind of snatched me up, man, and he goes, "Turn that shit off right now. You got to be
mm,
strong for your mother and your sisters." And I'm just like, you know what I mean? Emotions are bad, feelings are just
yeah,
so.
man,
But yeah, there was a lot of. Uh, I I felt very weak because I couldn't stop the drinking. I was weak as shit. I just couldn't do it. And
yeah,
having that in my brain, it's like, dude, what it was. It was just all like I was supposed to be a man, a cop that did all this stuff. Like, how am I
hmm.
this? You know what I mean? So.
It's hard, man, and I'm sorry you had to go through that, man. I know that's a
Yeah.
traumatic experience, but
But a crazy part about the Saint Charbel Shrine though is, and I didn't know this until years later, but I got sober on July 22nd, 2018,
mhm.
and that is July 22nd, Saint Charbel feast day in the Catholic Church.
Oh wow.
Yeah,
You know
yes.
what's crazy, man? July 23rd, 2018, my little boy was born. So that's
Oh wow.
kind of wild. Yeah, he's 7. Yeah, it's pretty wild. Yeah.
Yeah, but it was just, you know, to be actually there and saying what I said, and for the day that I got sober to be his feast day, it's not a coincidence,
No,
you know.
it's not, man. It's not. No. Well, let's kind of back up. Let's go. Okay, you've gone through the treatment. How did your department handle it once you got through um kind of the detox phase? Were you welcomed back with
Bad.
open arms, or how'd that go?
It was bad, dude.
Okay.
So I get back and uh, I was at headquarters and I was told, "That is your desk. Go sit at it."
Hmm.
So I sat at this desk for about 3.5, 4 weeks
Okay.
with nothing.
Hmm.
I'm an expert in Candy Crush now because of those 4 weeks. And I remember going to my investigative sergeant, man, and I said, "Hey, man," I said, "give me something, dude. I'm dying over here. Like,
Yeah.
give me a stolen laptop out of the TSA checkpoint. I don't care what it is. Give me
Yeah.
something." He looked right at me and he goes, "You're a fucking liability. You're lucky you have your job. Just sit at your desk and be quiet." I said, "Yes, sir."
Damn.
I just went and sat at my desk, man.
Wow.
Um, I met with command staff many times. The one thing that the one thing they kept saying was, "You are not going back to the FBI, but we don't know what we're going to do with you. So just stand by." So that's what I did, man. In the meantime, my FBI boss Jen is calling me every day.
Okay.
"When are you coming back? When are you coming back? When are you coming back?" I'm like, "Jen, I'm not coming back." So she demanded a meeting with the command staff,
Hmm.
and we called Jen the Honey Badger, man. She's from New York. She's a little angry Italian lady. And I set it up. I was like, "Jen, don't even worry about it. I'm just happy I have a job and I'm still getting paid.
Yeah.
I don't, you know." But she insisted, so I set the meeting up, man. And she came out of that meeting like 2 hours later. She's like, "I'll see you in the office on Monday." I just walked out.
Wow.
I'm like, what just happened?
Dang.
And yeah, I think she walked in there and what I've been told she said basically was, whatever happens to the next person that doesn't raise their hand because of how you're treating him is on you.
Mhm. Yep.
And if they go out and get in a car wreck and kill somebody, that's on you.
Yep.
And I guess it rang true, man, because I got called in and they said, all right, so the FBI was supposed to be a 4-year assignment.
Okay.
At that point, I think I'd been there for 8.5 years
Wow.
already.
Oh shit.
So they said, you have 1 year. You got 1 year to go back, finish up what you got to finish up. Don't start any long-term stuff. And we're going to rotate you out. And I was happy as hell with that, man. At least it gives me a little bit, at least I can walk out with my head up,
Yeah.
a little
Yeah.
higher that way
Right.
than just being banished and never to return. So,
Mhm.
so yeah, man, I went back, worked for about a year, and then K-9 spot open. I got this guy right here.
Nice. Yeah. What's his name?
His name's Aegis, and then Max is retired. He's a big fat shepherd on the ground.
Okay, can't see him.
They're
Okay.
both
Okay.
they're both explosive detection dogs.
Nice. Okay. Very cool.
So I love
cool.
it, man. I mean, how therapeutic is that? I get to play with dogs all day. you know?
Yeah. Yeah.
But well, like I say, man, I forgot. It was hard to go back, like people ask
Yeah.
me I've been, and I've been gone for like 45, 50 days at the time. And I just decided to rip the Band-Aid off, man. And I remember the first guy asked me, it was this guy, Joe, and he's like, where you been, Shib? I was like, rehab, bro. He's like, no, really, where you been? I'm like, no, really, I just got out of rehab, dude.
Yeah.
And, I just decided either you're going to talk shit about me or you're not. You're probably already talking shit about me. Or you're not. So
Exactly. Yeah.
what does it
doesn't-
matter,
Yeah.
Um, but the good that came out of it was like our peer support program when I went through this was 5 names on a board, in the roll call room. And now it's 20 some people, all SISM trained. We have clinicians. We have, it's take it pretty seriously now, which is great.
Were you seeing like a mental health professional when you began that journey through sobriety, or were you just kind of like, I went through the rehab portion and now I'm going to do it on my own, or did you get help after that?
Oh, so I the rehab part was the group stuff I didn't like because
Yeah.
I'm in a house and you got like at least 8 other people that are in there saying fuck the police every day.
Yeah,
So I'm not
exactly. Yeah.
police stuff.
Yeah.
But my therapist there was awesome, dude. She was the wife of a DC cop.
Okay, cool.
And I just started vomiting stuff at her.
Yeah.
And it started feeling better. And she was like, I want you to take this test. It's for PTSD. I said, I've never been to combat. I'm not a soldier. I don't have that stuff. She goes, that's not what it is, Keith. So a little explanation on that. And I was like, okay. So that helped. But what it got me to when that 30 days was up, well, they also made us go to like 12-step meetings every single night.
Okay.
I hate it.
Yeah.
But, I was so scared to go home that I was going to mess up. And I'm just pacing, man. And my wife, she's like, just go to one of those meetings. And I was like, I don't like those meetings. She's like, just go to a meeting that your therapist said you should probably go to one. So I went to one and it worked. And the next day I just did the same thing. The next day I just did the same thing. And I've been going to stupid meetings I don't like for 7 years, bro.
Well, good on you, man. That it's working.
And I've met some amazing people, dude.
Yeah.
And I'll stand up in front of police departments weekly and tell them, some of the people that I've met in recovery are felons, hookers, thieves, heroin addicts, meth addicts. But the ones that have been in recovery and have really put work into it, I trust them when I trust 90% of the cops I work with. 90% of them. They're great people. And they're people I would have never met. I do jujitsu with this guy that is just, he's like 6'4", tatted up, beard down to here. He's a biker dude.
Yeah.
And he's one of my best friends now, dude. And
Nice.
he's an amazing person. And I've met a lot of great people. And what it's really given me at work still, it's empathy. I was an ass when I was a 24-year-old cop, man, running through the city, treating people like shit and
Yeah.
whatever. but I kind of I've seen it in a different light now,
Well,
So,
and yeah, sobriety humbles
if you
you.
got drugs
You
on
know,
you or your DUI, I'm gonna have to take you to jail because that's my job. But I'll also offer you help. I mean,
right,
I'll meet
right,
with you after work and try to get you the help you need because I don't wish that hell upon anybody.
yeah, yeah.
But I also went to I signed up for 12 weeks of IOP, intensive outpatient.
Okay,
Um, I was just scared. I was scared. I didn't trust myself.
yeah.
I still wanted to get drunk every day. 30 days is not long enough to stop what
No,
was going on in my brain.
no.
Um, every time you go to a 7-Eleven to get a Red Bull, it's right next to the delicious beer cooler.
Yeah,
Um,
yeah.
so I did that. And, 3 nights a week, I'd go there for 2.5 hours. You get pissed every time to kind of hold you accountable.
Mm-hmm.
My therapist there was the most help. She introduced me to EMDR,
Okay,
uh,
nice.
eye movement desensitization reprocessing.
Yep,
Game changer, man. For
yep.
me, that was a game changer. Um, EMDR was a lifesaver. It brought, you know, it brought things that used to be an 8 or a 9 when they would enter my head and
Mm-hmm.
down to like a 2 or 3. Um,
Nice.
so yeah, I did that, and then I saw her. I saw her for a couple years until she switched practices, and then after that, I kind of, I started doing like some speaking stuff, and that's been kind of like my outlet for it now.
Yeah,
So,
yeah. That's
um,
awesome. That's awesome,
but
man. Where is how during this whole period, man? Did you kind of reconnect with your faith, or what did that look like?
yeah. So honestly, through like through the sorry, man,
No, you're good.
15-year-old daughter problems.
I get it. I got one too.
Can you pick me up? I was like, ugh. um, it's through the 12 steps, dude. I mean, it's first one surrender,
Yep.
and then it and it was slow. It wasn't all just like I found God right away. It was just like slow. And what I really found was if you don't just go through the motions like I did my whole life, and you actually put forth effort and work into it,
Mm-hmm.
he will reward you.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. He's not going to
Mm-hmm.
reward you if you're just going to go sit in church and look at the pretty girls and then throw $2 in the basket and leave. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? So,
Yeah.
um, like it, and my sponsor is very religious too. So we had a lot of, talks about faith and stuff, but, it was through that, man. And it's
Okay.
just time and time again. It's like, you know, when I would sit there and yell, "You show me your reeler," like he shows me every day. He shows me all the time now, man. I was blind to it. I didn't want to see it. I
Yeah.
think.
Yeah.
Um, so I see it now, and it's just it's great. And my son, he's in college, and I went to go pick him up, and we were talking about kind of some of the stuff I'm doing, and he even said, he goes, "Dad," he said, "Do you think God made you go through that so you could do what you're doing now?" And I said, "100%." My
Mm-hmm.
my whole journey, my whole wanting to be a cop, uh, was what I thought I was supposed to be doing when it was being a cop is what I had to do to get to where I'm at now.
Great way to
This is
look
what
at it.
this is what I'm
Yeah.
supposed to be doing. Like,
Yeah. That's a great way to
spread
look
the
at it.
message for mental health towards men and law enforcement and first responders and stuff like that. Um, so yeah, man, it's been great recently.
Well, and I know you're inspiring a lot of people, especially those, I hate to say this because it makes it sound old, those younger people that are going into law enforcement.
Mhm.
I've been out of it for 15 years, so I'm not as connected to it like I used to be. But I think what you're doing is going to help change that narrative. So if you are
Yeah,
on a bad call or you do have something you can't deal with, it's not as, oh, don't be a bitch, don't talk about your
yeah,
feelings. It's more like, okay, let's go over here. This person can help, and let's take care of you. That way, you're not just going to numb it or process it in an unhealthy way. Which is great to hear that you're doing that.
and that's why it's
Considering,
so important. I think that's why it's so important to get him at the academy, man. You
yeah,
know,
totally.
I mean, I'll give you all the credentials and I'll tell you some really cool war stories and stuff that we
Hmm.
did to just try to,
Yeah.
that I'm not coming from a place of I never did anything,
Right.
and it still happened to me. Um,
Yeah.
what I tell them is, this is an amazing career. It is. But whether you do this job for 1 year or 30 years, you will pay a price.
Oh
This
yeah.
job comes with a price tag, man. and
Yeah.
everybody has to pay it.
Yep.
And it's just, it's just being mindful and take care of yourself. And I've had guys that have been on for 2 years come up to me after like an infant death or something. And, one of them came up to me a couple of years. He was like, Keith, when I go home, he's like, I can't stop seeing it. I'm like, all right, dude, we'll fix it. Like, we'll get, you would have never done that 20 years ago as a police officer of 2 years. You'd never go to a guy that's been there 23 years and
No.
said something bothered you. It would have
No.
never happened. So, it's, just trying to do what I can,
No, but I respect that a lot, and it's really good to hear that you're doing that you've got this platform and you're helping people, man. Because yeah, I mean, like you just said, 20 years ago, you wouldn't say shit as a new guy. You would just stay quiet. But yeah, is there like is there a principle or a scripture that kind of stands out to you at all? That's kind of carried you through darkness? Anything you want to share with our listeners?
Man, there's one I have upstairs that I read, but I'm gonna mess it up. So, I honestly, and it's strange. I need to probably read the Bible more. I don't really read scripture a lot.
Okay.
It's
Okay.
just more of I don't know, man. I just see it in different things,
Yeah. Yeah.
and just quiet personal conversations I have with them,
Yeah. No,
Uh,
that's good, man. That's good.
but no, there are some great ones out there. I
Well,
can't help it.
I'm going to
Now.
share one, and I did this on Sunday with another guest, and it's God does work in mysterious ways, and it's funny how I have a Bible app and it has a verse of the day, and I try to do it with my son when I have him and talk about the Lord and stuff. But today's verse is Psalms 68:19. I'm going to read this real quick. Praise the Lord. Every day he helps us with the loads we must carry. He is the God who saves us. And I think that's pretty applicable to your testimony tonight. And I say this a lot, and I'm going to say it again on this episode. I don't think you can really have mental health without having Jesus Christ in your life, because you're
No.
never going to find peace until you surrender to him and realize you're not in control of shit at the end of the day.
Yeah. Yeah. And that's that's the biggest thing in the whole recovery process, man.
Yeah.
I would always try to control everything.
Mm-hmm.
And that's what would get me all jacked up because I couldn't control any of it.
Yeah.
And even like when I talk to my sponsor now, sometimes I'm telling him about something, or he goes, and what part of that can you control? And I'm like, oh shit.
Yeah. Yeah.
But it's yeah. It's just comforting, man.
Yeah.
It is.
Yeah.
It's because as law enforcement, we're supposed to fix stuff. People call us not because they're having a good day. It's a very bad day, and we need to fix it.
Yep.
Yep. So when you can't fix something, it's just I should just take it to heart. But yeah, man, he's the only one who can fix everything.
That's right. That's right.
Yep.
Well, Keith, if there's a man out there listening right now that's on the edge of giving up, what advice would you give him?
If you're struggling with anything, there is 100 men just like you. So, I mean, if that's one thing I found in this, there's groups of men that alcohol, drugs, anything, divorce, mental health, whatever. They're out there, man. And yeah, just open your mouth and say something, man. It's a strong group, and
Yeah.
I mean, I'm Keith Shibley on almost every social media, man. Inbox me and I'll find them for you if you want me to help you, but you can only truly start to enjoy stuff once you fix yourself, and you got to fix yourself first, and that's something I had to learn kind of the hard way, but I couldn't be a good dad or a good husband until I fixed my own bullshit.
That's a lot of us learn the hard way, man.
Yeah.
A lot of us learn the hard way. Hey, what was that group you mentioned off air? Frontline Healing. You want to plug them?
Frontline Healing Foundation. It is oh shoot, hold on a second. It's a 501c3, and it's so what they do is it helps subsidize the cost of treatment for like alcohol abuse, drug abuse, PTSD, TBI, for military, retired military, and first responders. So if you're having trouble financially and saying like I can't go get this help, hit me up, or Frontline Healing Foundation, man. Just look them up, because you know they do whatever they can to try to help as many people as they can. Last year, they had so many applicants and just not enough funds to help everybody, which is probably the saddest thing. So, yeah, man, it's getting down towards the end of the year. You need a tax write-off. Look at the Frontline Healing Foundation. Throw them a donation, man.
Yeah.
$20, whatever, $10. It doesn't matter what it is. Every little bit helps. And it helps, a military person or first responder get the help they need. They work a lot with Warriors Heart.
Okay.
Down in Texas, and they just opened a Warriors Heart in Virginia, which I visited a couple months ago, man. And that place is amazing. It's a rehab for all that stuff for military and first responders. So like when I went to just a regular one with a couple fucking police guys in there, I mean, this stuff is structured, and their clinicians are structured to help, people in this kind of career field. So it's a great organization. But yeah, just go to Frontline Healing Foundation and check them out, dude. They're great.
I'll put them in the notes for the description for this episode, so people can reach out to them. Well, Keith, as we're closing out, man, I want to say a prayer for us. You ready?
Yep.
Here we go. Father, thank you for today. Thank you for bringing Keith into my life, and thank you for this platform to spread your gospel, Lord, and to just raise awareness for mental health. And Lord, I ask tonight that you cover the men out there that are hurting, the men that feel alone, and the men that just feel lost right now, and that are carrying shame and that are carrying fear. Just cover them in your blood, Lord, and protect them. And I pray that this message will reach them, that they will, find that courage to ask for help and to realize they need to put themselves above any profession they may have. Thank you for everything, Lord. Thank you for blessing us. And I just pray you watch over us. It's in your mighty name I pray. Amen.
Amen.
If you got something out of this episode, please share it with a friend, and be sure to like and subscribe to the podcast channel. It's the Peace, Power, and Purpose podcast channel. We're on YouTube, and we're also on Spotify. Go ahead, man. What were you going to say?
No, I said thank you for that prayer.
Oh, yeah. No doubt, man. No doubt. And I'm grateful for your time, man. And thank you for having the courage to come on tonight and share your testimony. I know a lot of first responders need to hear kind of the other side of things, and they need to have that support system in place so that they don't maybe make the same mistakes that I made, or maybe the same choices that others have made.
I appreciate you having me, man.
Yeah, man, it's been an honor. I'm really glad we got to sit down and do this. I appreciate you, man. I hope you guys have a great Thanksgiving.
All right, buddy. Yeah, you too. Have a great Thanksgiving, man.
All right, man. Take it easy.